All right. Welcome back. Welcome in. Yeah, found us once again. Shoot the Gap, the Rabbit Hole Fantasy Football Focus Show, here to help you to be gruntled with your fantasy football team and your fantasy football decisions. I am your humble host, Brian Baldwin. It's my pleasure. It's my honor to introduce to you, Connor the Gut. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Brian. I'm doing good. Just chilling. Just waiting for some news on how things are gonna end up, like everybody.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. And that's actually the whole basis of this show. I know that if you've been watching us for a while, we kind of have a rhythm. There's the intro, there's the news, the Merry Early Christmas, and and all that stuff, and that's fun and everything. This is I don't know if this is going to be our last video. I think we'll probably do one more like year-end review. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Connor, you want to do one more? Yeah. So but we're not doing two a week no more.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the one for this week. Yeah. And so then the next week we'll do the year-end review, and then we'll just we'll talk about that. But
we'll
this
probably
time
go into hibernation for a little bit.
Well, okay, hang on. Let's go ahead and talk about hibernation. Just right now, let's go and talk about what does that mean for Shoot the Gap. What that means is that we're not doing weekly shows, okay? But what we are doing is that we do sniper episodes if any type of fantasy relevant news breaks. We started doing shorts last year. Connor was doing them to help you get ready for the drafts whenever there was sneaky picks to pick up and things of that sort. So anytime that you see anytime actually, but more and most importantly in the off season, anytime you see us pop up saying Shoot the Gap, something happened. Something happens, or it's gonna be information to help you out. So make sure and like and subscribe, because we still stay active, in the off season. So we'll still pop out, and we'll still help you.
Yeah, that's what our schedule is, and to add on to what Brian's saying, during the NFL regular season, we will try. We almost every week do, as Yoda says, no try, just do. We'll do 2 episodes a week, making sure that we help you with your fantasy football decisions. We'll recap the games, and we'll give our predictions for the games. But since that's over, since championships are over, whenever something needs to be addressed, we'll address it, and then otherwise we'll be gearing up for the next season.
There you go. Yeah. Hibernating. I like the way you said it. Yeah. But we wake up.
Yeah.
So, but this episode, let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to focus on this episode. 100%. No, we're not going to do news and all that thing, everything. You actually can catch what I was going to talk about regarding a normal Shoot the Gap type show on my show on Thursday, tomorrow, on Drive Time Sports with Charlie and Brian on High Volume Music Radio app, or highvolumemusicradio.com. So I'm going to talk about all that there. So if you want to hear any things of the Merry Early Christmas and all that, I definitely will be doing that there. That'll be tomorrow again, Thursday, 4 to 6. But today, what we're going to do, or tonight, we're going to go ahead and talk about something that that needs to be addressed. All right. Honestly, I was hoping that there would be other bigger, more national, or just the big fantasy football shows.
Yeah, like ones that have 3 guys on it instead of 2.
What that, and actually get paid to do it.
That have fantasy football in the name.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're based out of Arizona.
Well, that's definitely a group I was, thinking about, but not specifically, but yeah, and those other ones also. But so none of them's really come to bat, and the one that has came up with some wacky ass ideas, and I told Connor, I was like, dude, we need to talk about this, dude. We need to go ahead and discuss different options on how to do this fantasy thing, because the most important thing right now is that we all watched what happened on Monday night. Okay, we all watched it, and so anytime you go through tragedy, one of the things that the human mind needs most to help move on is closure. And so what you need to do, this whole episode is to talk about how to do closure in your fantasy league different ways to do about it. We'll definitely tell you the ones we like, but we're not going to tell you which ones to do. It's up to you and your league, right? So that's what this episode is about. Okay. Okay. If you've been following the show, then you know that that I was blessed to make it to the championship. Yeah, of our league for the second time. This is the second time I made it to the championship, and I'm happy to say that I'm a champion. Yeah, I'm that was my third ring, so I'm gonna get another ring. Gonna have 3 rings, so the Lord bless. Yeah. So that's great. But let me go ahead and talk to you about how we did that, okay? Because right now, as it's September, or no, it's gonna be January the 4th, right? 2023, and is this our first? This is our first 2023 episode, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
In this fruitful year of our Lord. I'm coining it right now. Yeah.
Fruitful. I like that. Yeah. So anyway, as of right now, the NFL has not made any decisions. Everything is up in the air, and nobody knows what to do. I know there's even one platform that hasn't really addressed the situation at all. ESPN really hasn't addressed it really that much. Yeah, like right now, Lori is my wife is in the championship.
My wife.
And she has. And as you know, if you've been watching, I was groaning. I've always been bemoaning when we found out that each playoff round has 2 rounds to it, which is dumb.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Stupid, right? But so she's playing next week, but she can't pick up anybody because the platform is still showing it to be an active league, like an active week. So it's not allowing you to pick up anybody because she still has those training wheels.
Yeah,
the waiver wire.
Yeah, ESPN is the slowest. Shout out to Sleeper because they were kind of the first ones to make. Right. They're the first ones to make a decision. Yahoo, they were slow, but to their credit, they did come out with a whole ass article when they had some updates on it, which at least that's kind of a saving grace. I feel ESPN's definitely the worst of the 3.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. So let's go ahead and let's talk about just some different ways. And let's first talk about how I got my 3rd ring. Okay, this is my by no means by like what we think is the best or not. Even though this is what I'm a commissioner in this league, and so me and now here's something important I want to point out. It was myself, okay, who's in the finals, okay, but is also a commissioner, co-commissioner, and then also the other team. Okay, we all 3 made this decision. All right, so it wasn't just the commissioner saying, high hand of God, here we go. I would definitely recommend, no matter what you decide to do, make sure you get the commissioner. If there's a co-commissioner, get the co-commissioner involved, and then the 2 teams that are in the championship. These are the ones that need to make the decision. Okay, and moving on. What we decided was, whenever we got together, was that we are going to go ahead. And we looked at it as an unprecedented time, right? And because of that, an unprecedented time calls for an unprecedented solution, okay? And what is that? What would that be? 2 champions, okay? So what we've done is that back there is the Rambo. Remember last year when I got it? I won that beautiful thing back there. That's the Rambo, our champion trophy. You can't see it right now, but my name is on that. But so what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 plaques for this year on that thing for 2022. It's going to be my name and then also the other team. So there's going to be 2 champions. And with the winnings that we have that would be going to the actual players, we're going to use that. We're going to donate that to Damar Hamlin's GoFundMe account for his toy drive. So that's what we're going to do with it. And so that way now we have closure. Yahoo, we play through the Yahoo. I think if you've been watching the show, that's kind of the platform we base a lot of our talks about, around is Yahoo. So far I think it's a really good one. I don't want to say it's the best. I haven't tried every one in the world, but to my knowledge,
I think it's better than ESPN.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Say that, right?
Yeah, we'll leave it there. We'll definitely leave it there. Yeah, it definitely is better than ESPN.
Although I will say with Sleeper's actions, I'm very much considering trying out Sleeper next year.
Yeah, maybe for a league. Yeah. I do like having Yahoo because I'm familiar with it, but I also like the little report card they give you the next week.
It's nice.
It's cool. I think it's neat.
It's fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun. That's the whole point. It's fun. That's what I like about, and that's what fantasy football is doing. And so what we thought was be the most the best the decision that would have the most integrity, the decision that would be with the most love and most caring for everybody would be to do that. Would be the two champions and then donate the money. Okay, and so what we're using is on Yahoo. They don't have ability for a commissioner to put like both two teams won or anything like that. So what we're doing is that whatever the setting is from first and second is going to determine the like the priority of the plaque. So like on the Rambo, you're going to see 2021 my name. Then you're going to see 2022 if they don't play the game anymore. Right now, I won. Like I'm on top no matter which way you look at it, right? Because I have the most points. But my competitor had Joe Mixon, so who knows what would have happened there.
My guy.
Yeah, exactly. And so right now the way it stands, it will be 2022 my team, 2021 my team, 2022 my team, and then 2022 the my opponent's
second place.
So, correct, right? But it's going to be on the trophy. It's going to be on the trophy because they're going to be honored as a champion on our trophy. So that's how we're handling it. That's what we decided on. Now that was what we thought was the most fair and would give it the fastest closure. It's good to go. We're done. Right? Now, I've heard, let me go ahead and throw these things out. First of all, Connor, what do you think of that idea that I just gave you of what our decision? I just said my reasoning, didn't get your thoughts on it. So what's your thoughts?
Well, I think I'm a little more, I feel like I'm a little more blood and thunder than the Amigo is. I'm a little more cut and dry. So, just being honest, talking from the heart, Brian is my friend, so I feel like I'm a little less than unbiased. But yeah, I mean, and also, the team Brian was playing against beat me in the playoffs, and I'm very, I don't forget shit like that. So, I will, if you beat me, I will actively root for you to lose. I will look at the weakest positions on your team. I will pick up everyone in that position just for the sheer, 1% chance that keeps you from winning. I will do all of that. With all of that being said, Can
I interrupt you real quick?
Yeah.
This ring right here, I had Stephon Diggs, and Stephon Diggs was questionable, and you didn't have a game, but you went and picked up this backup. I
will tell you the same thing now that I've told you before. That didn't just fuck you over. That fucked the guy you were playing against over too. That was a mutual. Sabbath. That was if I can't win, no one can win move. That was not I want Brian to lose move.
No, but I beat you in that playoffs.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yes.
Did I just snitch on myself?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That's why I wanted to interrupt you. I heard that. I was like, it finally makes sense.
Well,
why? Okay, dude, listen. This road to the playoff really was a village for me. Okay, I mean, like I asked the doc Ethan. Yes, I asked Ethan, the doc. I asked Connor, for advice, and all these guys were giving me great straight advice that really helped me get to the championship, and also help make decisions there. So so I'm giving you props, man. You helped me. So I was confused as to why you were giving me such excellent advice to help me win my playoff games, to get me to the championship. Whenever on this one, you got me in the twig and berries, brother. I mean, you were.
I hit you in the ribs, yeah.
I mean, luckily Stephon Diggs. Luckily he did well. He was fine and he did well in the game. But if he wasn't, dude, you got his back up, and it was just sitting on an inactive team's bench, just sitting there. Now I know why. Now I know why. I finally had peace. 3 years ago, I've been holding it. For 3 years, I've been holding this. And I finally have closure.
That's what she said.
Okay, see how good that feels, closure? You see the joy in my face and the lilt in my voice?
Yeah, ESPN.
So that's what we're trying to do here. So we gave you one opportunity, or one option. Connor is, go ahead, dude. So with that said, please continue. I apologize. I just wanted to jump
no
in.
apology necessary. Yeah, no, these are the moments for radio that we live and breathe for. I think that whoever gets the most points should be declared the winner. Technically, that would be Brian. Now, technically, if they resume the game and they play it next week and they count it as blah, 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 Joe Mixon gets a bunch of points and then the other person wins, that's who I think the winner... Well, yeah, that's... Whatever the official scoring of the app would be, I don't... That's just how I roll personally. With that being said, I don't I don't think there's anything wrong about the decision that you guys came up with. I think that you guys had a great solution with, you know, what to do with the earnings, since there's 2 champions. And I also do think that it's fair for there to be 2 champions, in the sense that, look, if there's just 1 champion, they're never going to hear the end of it, because there is an asterisk next to it. I mean, this makes things like the COVID bubble look like, you know, I mean, shit, you know, there's no washing it off. You know, Magic Eraser isn't going to get it. Nothing's going to get it off, man. You know, so I think that having 2 champions lessens the blow of that. And as you said before, you know, this is a league about fun. It's not a, you know, and this is a solution to where no one, like, you know, you don't feel bad, because it would fucking suck if you made it to the championship and then you lost because of something like this.
Right.
You know, I mean, obviously it's a game, so whatever feelings we're feeling are completely, they're a speck compared to what's going on in real life. But still, you know, we are talking about how to deal with this. So in the context of right. So within the context of that, it has everyone feeling the best I think they can feel.
And also, one thing I wanted to make sure, and no matter what you guys decide, okay, if you're in a league and everybody decides that there'll be 1 winner, I would reserve this asterisk talk. Okay, asterisks are used for people that, for the champions that do something wrong. Okay, that do something that's scandalous and kind of underhanded, and kind of something you're like, you didn't deserve it type of.
Yeah, like right? a commissioner abusing his trade tactics.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Definitely not making it into the playoffs as a 6 seed. That's legit. But abusing trade, that's an asterisk.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I would just try to shy away from that. I mean, there's, you know, to get to that point, and to even like where I'm at, where I'm ahead, and yes, Joe Mixon is who I was going against, and who, in my opinion, had a 50-50 chance of either scoring under what they needed or scoring above it. Because I was
scared for you. I was really scared he was going to do good, especially because the Bengals were up, man. That's great games. I mean, you can make an argument, oh, they're going to put the, you know, rest Mixon, but there's also a path for Mixon getting a big workload in that game.
Absolutely. Yeah. But anything could have happened.
Right.
But I ended with, you know, in the lead, and so this is I understand what you're basically what I'm saying. I understand what you're talking about, but I'm not, you know, so I don't, when I looked at the win, to be honest with you, when I looked at it this morning and I saw that I won in championship and all that, it felt hollow. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel right for it to be that way. But whenever I made the decision to do what I told you, I felt better. So that was my decision. Now another a route that I've heard, Connor, is, well, let's just take the points from week 18 for each Buffalo and Bengal player, and let's just apply, you know, whatever points to that player, you know, from week 18, and then just finish, and then that'll finish week 17.
So kind of plug that in and keep everything. See, the thing is there even a way to do that on Yahoo as a commissioner?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a button that you can click. I know with Yahoo, you go to edit points. Dude, if I wanted to give myself 1,000,000 points, I could do that. You know, and then hit enter, and I got 1,000,000 points. I could do that if I want. So there is an option to do that. There's an option to switch out players, things of that sort. So it is possible that even if the platform does not allow for week 18, for you to be able to do that. You know, I know ESPN allows for week 18. Yahoo doesn't. So Yahoo, you'd have to deal with something I was going to talk about here in a second. But let's just talk about this one idea first, and then I'll tell you about how there's a step that's going to complicate a lot of things if you do this in Yahoo week 18 stuff, and also the next option I was going to give you. But on this one, I would say that just for the fact that it's tainted, it's not correct because it's not the same defense. Not the same situation. All right, so you have week 17. These are two teams that were going for,
they're fighting for the 1 speed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, right. So there was a lot of like intensity. There was a lot of like starters playing the whole game. Yeah. Or how about starters starting the game? Okay. There's a lot of that in that game.
Yes.
Right? Which can't be said about what's going to happen on week 18.
Yeah, it's the worst week of the year for fantasy football.
Correct, and that should never be the week that you decide your championship on. Okay, just in generally speaking. All right, so that's what I think that's a bad idea in that respects. What's your thoughts on that idea?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree completely. Just because, we all know that most starters they don't play all of week 18, especially if you have a good player. There's so many players that we could talk about that their seasons are done. D-Hop, his season is over. Justin Fields, his season is over. That's one key guy for both of our teams, respectively, right there, right off the rip. I know Derrick Henry's playing next week, but maybe. See, yeah, it's iffy.
And will he finish the game?
Yeah, will he finish the game? Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, all Eagles starters. They're like what, freaking 12-2. They don't have much of a reason. Saquon, the Giants have already secured a playoff berth. You don't want to risk Saquon. The list goes on. We could list names for another 10 minutes.
McCaffrey. I just want to throw that out there.
McCaff. He has earned the extra McCaff once again.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. But the point is that it's dangerous. It's that even if these players start, if they're going to finish the game, there's a lot of contracts that say that a player has to start X amount of games, so that coaches will start the guys for like one series and then sit them for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so they can get their right. bonus or what have you.
Correct, 100% right. So it's very dangerous. Week 18 is so dangerous because of all that misinformation out there. So you don't want and again. All that aside, the point is that it's not the same game, so it's already tainted. Okay, so it wouldn't work. So the next one is that I'm going to go and talk to you about is one that I heard about that I'm going to first address the glaring issue. Okay, and that glaring issue also applies to Yahoo if you tried to use points from week 18. All right. So the next option is, well, okay, how about either the first playoff games that Cincinnati players or Buffalo players play. Oh, one more thing I wanted to make about the previous thing is that if you did do week 18, I think the players that had the most chance of sitting week 18 would be probably Buffalo players and Cincinnati players, considering what they've just went through. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay. Back to this point. So, back to the lecture at hand. So, the playoff. Okay, let's play the first playoff game for Buffalo and first playoff game against for Cincinnati. All right. So, because those are going to be meaningful snaps, they're going to be trying real hard because that's win or go home. So that means they're going to be trying real hard. Well, the first glaring issue, because there's two. The first glaring issue on that is, well, they're not playing against the same defense. Same reason on the week 18. It's not the same defense. It's not the same situation. So you can't take those points and put it again in that situation. All right. So, but I know we're fishing for meaningful snaps here. So let's just give it some leeway. So let's say, okay, well, let's say they meet the playoffs, in the next round or whatever. Right. So that's gonna be meaningful. Same defense, same everything. All right. Here's the glaring issue that overrides all week 18 and beyond. Okay. Most platforms, especially Yahoo, they don't have the ability to calculate those points automatically. for that player. So if you decide to go week 18 in Yahoo or go playoffs in whatever other format, unless they change, the commissioner is going to have to go manually to the box score, look at how many catches, how many runs, how many yards, how many first downs if you score that way, all that stuff. Then get out his little calculator, okay, and then start totaling everything up. And then you got to trust that whatever that point is, or if you have your own calculations that's different than what he puts in, then you got a whole mess. There's a huge X factor.
Fuck all that shit.
No shit. Okay, and you talk about something it just
Sun Tzu said that.
Dragging on. No closure here. Dragging on. You're talking about 2-3 weeks here of just drag, who's going to be the champion. And one thing I was talking to my brother about, you've heard me reference him from time to time. He's a co-commissioner of my league. He made the perfect analogy, which is this is a lot like the 2000 election with the hanging chads. Like we didn't know who the president was going to be, of the United States, and there was these hanging chads, and every time there was an update, you dropped everything to read, or to watch it or whatever, because who's going to be our president? And it put the nation through a lot of pain, for those couple of weeks or more, trying to figure all that out, which that's exactly what's happening now with your fantasy football. You had no control with what was going on. You had no control, okay, with what was going on with the presidential situation, but you have a lot of control on what's going on now, so let's go ahead and put closure to it. So what do you think of those two options? Those of the 18, or no, we are talking about 18. What do you think about using in the playoffs? That's it.
No, I definitely don't think that carrying it into the playoffs is this. I mean, like, I'll just be honest. I mean, my preference was to just end it this week. I think that it should be prolonged as little as possible, just because of the nature of fantasy football and how, pretty much anything after week 17 just isn't conducive to predicting scoring, predicting outcomes, figuring out who you're going to start. I mean, just everything, man. I agree with you wholeheartely on it.
Yeah, and plus the resources that you would normally depend on to help make your start-sit decisions, they dry up now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're out there on an island now. You're just out there. It's just, what do I do?
Yeah. I don't think this is something that we should overthink either, because, it's hard. And so, everyone's trying to think of, they're faking the fake. Like we say on this show a lot, they're faking the fake. Oh, well, this and plus X, and then we'll carry the 5. And then, if Zach Taylor sees a shadow, he doesn't see a shadow. That's not. Come on, man. Just you're overthinking it.
Now this is I believe this is the last one I can think of. And I'll be curious to hear if you have any more ones. This is the only ones that I've heard. Going off projected points, like whatever the projected points of each thing, let's just go ahead and use projected points, and you let that determine who the winner and champion.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly, because you were the projected underdog in every matchup you were in the playoffs.
By 20 points each time.
Yeah, and no shade, but there was a guy that you were playing, good guy, good drummer, friend of the show, watches the show. Shout out to Matt. Matt, I know you're big on projections, and you were projected to beat Brian, and you still lost. So that's another example of how projected points don't always equal real points.
And an example of that. It's the Lord's will whenever I win. Not me.
No other way around.
I set a lineup that I'm down by 20. The Lord says, I'll bless you, brother. I love you. I bless you. Here you go. Here you go. This guy's going to blow up. Bam. There you go. I love
God's
you.
God's plan.
Exactly. Yeah, his perfect timing. So that's just proof of that. Okay, now, do you have any more solutions that you could think of? Okay, that would pop up.
No, I mean, I have parting shots. I have things that I would like to spend a minute or two of my airtime talking about, but it's not really with the solutions of how to deal with this.
Okay, so as far as like on a fantasy, like if you were a fantasy if you were a fantasy commissioner, okay, what else would you be thinking about doing that we haven't covered? Suggestions that you would make, anything like?
Well, one thing I would say is if you're listening right now, I would kind of use Brian as the Amigo. I would use him, the Weatherman. I would use him as an example of how to handle things as a commissioner, because you sent out a message to the league pretty quickly, addressing the situation, and you gave us updates, which I'm assuming most commissioners did that. But if you didn't think about that, if you didn't know you could do that, use his example. That's what I think you should do.
Thank you.
Yeah, and don't do that bullshit where the championship game goes over several weeks. Looking at whoever commissions Lori's ESPN league, that's some bullshit. And props to Lori for calling that out.
Oh yeah. She came at the commissioner.
Yeah,
like,
and I like the way she went about it. I like how she phrased it.
Well, okay. One thing I always found out to be true whenever I worked 20 years in insurance, and in that span of time, one thing I always found out to be true is that in a couple, there was always one really cool person and one just spitfire. I mean, one bulldog that you just don't want to get on the wrong side of.
A pistol.
Yeah, and in this relationship, that's Lori. I'm the cool guy you want to talk to. Lori's the one who's just like, just right at your throat, and so she did that right for the right for the the actual commissioner. What Lori says, like, she wrote me a note just now. That's if you saw me look off camera. This was because she walked in because she's in her championship. She has that 2-round situation. She's locked down with ESPN, and this is what she wrote: "We are leaving as is and splitting the pot." So that's what they're doing. So, I guess leaving as is whatever scores are there, then that's the scores they're leaving. They're not going to try to rectify the scores. They're just splitting the winnings between the two players.
So
I don't know.
Sounds very similar to my solution.
Yes, that's pretty much your solution.
Yeah,
and it feels dirty. I don't like that solution. That feels dirty.
I mean, I don't get the splitting the pot. Because like if you're gonna let the winning stand, if you're gonna let the score stand, shouldn't you just let them? I would say either let them all go to one person or just fucking send it to his GoFundMe, man. Like just splitting the winnings, it just seems bush league.
It's lukewarm. It's lukewarm. You're neither hot or cold. No.
Yeah, and to quote
lukewarm.
the Lord Almighty, I'm paraphrasing, but fuck lukewarm.
Well, he spits you out.
Yeah,
yeah.
Which
exactly.
in some countries is more offensive than an F-bomb.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, well, to the Lord, lukewarm is bad. So choose a side. Go one way or the other. Don't walk the fence. We chose one way. That's what we did. It's obvious what my preference is what we decided on in my league. So that's obvious. That was the one we talked about on the top.
Yeah.
Connor's preference is to go ahead and leave the scores as they are, and also he kind of, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Connor, you kind of like the approach that Yahoo is doing, which is Yahoo went ahead and finalized everything as they are. Okay, it is what it is with the point, but if they do continue the game, then they'll retroactively add the points from whatever player onto that player, and then if that changes the outcome, then that's it.
Yeah, I like that. Kind of play it where it lies.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. One question I have for you, because we are you especially don't mind putting yourself out there. What do you think they're going to resume the game or continue the game?
I don't think they're going to continue the game. I think they're going to give. I think they're going to either give them both a tie or they're going to give the Bengals a win because the Bengals had more points when the game was over.
Which one do you think?
If I had to gun to balls, give the Bengals the win because the Bills already clinched their division, so it's kind of a meaningless game for them.
Well, not really, because
they are fighting for the 1 seed.
Yeah, if they won the game, they would have 13 wins. And right now they're 12-4. Kansas City's 13-3, so they would be 13-4. I believe that's how that math would work. So so that would put a little bit more pressure on who would get the 1 seed. But in this situation, like in normal situations, I think teams would be focused on that. But in this situation, I really think that they don't.
Yeah,
really
I actually changed my mind.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what I really think is going to happen?
Yeah, please.
I did the numbers really quickly, and I forgot that Kansas City is Kansas City. Always good. I think they're gonna redo the game because there's too much money in it not to, and that's what the NFL cares about.
Okay, I'm on the complete opposite side. Okay, and not redo the game. Okay, I don't think they're going to redo the game or anything like that. I think that they're going to give them both ties and just let it go like that. Because here's the thing, guys. Okay, here's everything. If they resume the game, you know what the first snap is? You want to know what the first snap is?
It's like that. It's like it's like the first pitch when someone else throws the first pitch.
The first snap is, hey, look, this is the first snap right after Damar Hamlin had a heart attack, had a cardiac arrest. That's the first snap of the game. Okay, no matter what way you paint it, no matter money involved, no matter whatever it is, every guy's going to be thinking that this is the first snap after he had cardiac arrest.
No, I get that. I just feel like they're gonna capitalize on it. From like almost like a moral porn, like feel good, like look at these two teams, like they handled everything. So I see where you're coming from, but the NFL hasn't, they were pretty untasteful about it. They originally told both players they had 5 minutes to get ready to resume play.
And they're fighting with ESPN about that. And they're saying they would never say that. That would be so insensitive of us. We would never do that. That was ESPN saying that. See, that even strengthens my point even more that they're not going to continue the game because now they've already taken a stance of being the sensitive people. That they're going to, that they would never force them to play after.
Well, I wanna pivot to talk about what I wanted to talk about. I'm about done on it. Did you have anything else you wanted to?
No. I just would encourage. Last thing I would say on that, I would just encourage closure. That's the focus that needs to be done. Closure.
Yeah. I wanna personally take this time to commend and voice my respect for the coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, Zac Taylor. I mean, just the fact that he was, I could kind of see, like, I'm not a lip reader, but I'm pretty sure he walked up to Sean McDermott and he was like, hey, like we're not finishing this game, like this is like fucking life or death. And he went to the hospital. He could have done a million different things. He could have been with his guys, he could have left home early to be with his family, but he chose to go to the hospital, which I just, there's not a lot of coaches in the NFL that I respect, but my hat goes off to Zac Taylor, and I have nothing but respect for him. And I think that is the standard that coaches should strive for in the NFL. And I want to also voice my immense respect for T. Higgins, who, as I understand, has reportedly not left the hospital since the injury. I mean, just there's nothing to add to that. Fuck him. Everyone draft him. Just heart of gold player right there.
Yeah, they made friends on the offseason. They were in camps together. They're both from the Pittsburgh area, so yeah, there's the connection there.
This is how I know I'm getting old. This is the closest I've come to cry in like almost over a year, and it's about football. Fuck.
Stephon Diggs, same thing. So yeah, there was a lot of players. There was a few players from the Buffalo team that stayed behind, to be with them. So yeah, it's affecting a lot of people. So yeah, so that's a good shout out. And let's go ahead I don't think we have anything more to add. These are just some options that I've heard on how to finish the fantasy football season, and you heard Connor's thoughts about how to do it. You heard my thoughts about how to do it. Obviously, you can see who operates from the point of love and who operates from the point of business. Okay, so that's what makes the show good. That's what makes the show good. So that's excellent. But yeah, that was the main reason for our show. We want to make sure and thank you for watching. Hopefully, it helped you out. Feel free to make some comments, on the page there, below. Make sure and do that. And we will have one more show. It won't be this week. It'll be next week, and that'll be the final show. Just a review show, and then we'll go into hibernation, as you said, Connor. There's no reason why to do the parting shot. That was excellent what you said. I think we'll just ride with that. So we'll go and end it with the last line. So help me out with it, Connor. In fantasy football, as in life,
don't dream it, be it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for watching. All right. Congratulations.